All right. Well, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a great week, even though it is Monday, right? Hope happy July. Isn't that hard to believe that we're in July already? And I just told him before we started the recording, I do have a sunlight in my office, and so there's no way for me to get rid of this shine. So it doesn't hurt my feelings. If you have to put on sunglasses just to be able to watch this, I understand and feel your pain. All right. Just a few things that I wanted to go over. I've had a lot of meetings, a lot of Zooms. I just got off with Tony and some others talking about the launch of our link. We've got promotions that have been extended into July and the timing of where we are. And so let me just tell you, I was talking to some friends of mine that have made millions, and some of them, even Tony, he's got 3 companies that have done over $1 billion in sales in the last 3 years. Yeah, we may know people that have made 6 figures in a year or 7 figures in a year. We may know someone that has a company that over the lifetime of that company has done over $1 billion in revenue, but very few people I've ever met that have 3 companies in the last 3 years that have all done in excess of $1 billion in revenue. And so that person has a knack for knowing how to see the next big thing. And so we've had many conversations. We've been hanging out with people that have made 50 million, 100 million, in the blockchain space. Some of them have made over 4 billion in the blockchain space. And when I'm listening to their experience and why they're so excited, why they're going all in with these projects like nothing they've ever done before, that's called a clue. No, it doesn't mean there's a guarantee. We know that, right? For compliance and all that stuff. I've told some friends of mine, I'm like, look, I'm going to give you the information. I don't know if what I'm doing is for you or not, but here's what I know. High risk with a possible potential of no rewards, but it's also a potential of high rewards. But I want you to do your investigation. I want you to make your own decision and you go from there. But let's just look at some of the things before I give you some action items and updates of our link or rally, what we're getting ready to do with that, how you can position yourself, how you can benefit. I'm going to give you all of that in this short Zoom today. So number one, we know about the Bitcoin halving. We've been talking about that over and over and over. And I'm not a big crypto guy. So I wasn't smart enough to start reading the white paper like Tony was and started purchasing Bitcoin at over $200 and some a coin. Now it's at 60 some thousand, right? And I'm like, man, that's exciting. I wish I would have done that back then. However, here's the thing. Even if Bitcoin goes from 65,000 to 650,000 over the next several years, what is that? That's a 10x. What if we had bought Bitcoin at pennies? So if you want to have some fun, Google Bitcoin Pizza Day. All right, am I freezing or am I okay? Somebody's saying I'm freezing a lot. Maureen, am I good? Okay, so maybe your internet. But it looks like I'm good. So, but Google Bitcoin Pizza Day. This is where there were these people in a chat, and one of them said, hey, listen, I want to buy some pizza. I've got these little things called Bitcoin. If you'll take them, I'll just send you the Bitcoin and you order me a couple pizzas. And they sent this person, I don't forget how many thousands of Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. So today, those 2 pizzas cost that guy hundreds of millions of dollars. So would you rather buy Bitcoin now, even though everyone is still saying, like all these big money people are saying, look, it's a phenomenal store of wealth. It's a phenomenal place to put your money. Or would you rather go back to where it was pennies per Bitcoin and own a lot of them, right? Of course, that's a stupid question, right? Well, that's the way that I look at these projects. We're in the beginning of these projects, and I've got friends of mine, 2 of them, that and they may be on here today, or they may be watching the replay, where they got involved in a project in the gaming space where the developers, it was 0.000 something, a fraction of a penny, and it went to 80 some cents, right? So when you 500 to 1,000x, that's pretty exciting. So now you have the Bitcoin halving that just happened, and then they normally have the bull run the next 12 to 18 months. So you've got that, and then there's the altcoin season that normally happens after Bitcoin hits that high. So we're looking at the next 12 to 18 months. Then you have the Bitcoin ETF or the ETFs. You've got Ethereum that just applied for the ETFs. You've got, I think Solana is now applying for the ETFs. Okay, now here in the US, you got, it doesn't matter who, I'm not talking about who you're voting for. So don't get upset if I mention somebody's name, right? Everybody's so sensitive these days. But Donald Trump was bashing Bitcoin several years ago, or crypto. Now he's a massive proponent of the crypto space, right? You've got the Democratic Party. They were bashing crypto. Now they go like, hey, more people own crypto in the US than own dogs. And that's a big market. And we want to be a part of it too. So now they have changed to where they're not bashing anymore. They're all for it. You've got some rules and regulations and laws that they've been passing and working on. You've got Kennedy, RF Kennedy, where he is now saying, listen, if I win the presidential race, we'll put the budget on the blockchain. You'll know, in that video, it says you'll know if we pay $16,000 for a toilet or not, because the blockchain is transparent. So what you're seeing is all of a sudden, all of these things are starting to turn. And if you've heard me do an opportunity overview before, you heard me talk about the German philosopher that talks about opportunities go through three phases. They're ridiculed, violently opposed, and then they're self-evident. But only 3% get involved in the first two most profitable phases, which is ridiculed and violently opposed. So that's where we sit today. Understand, not everybody is going to see what we see. Not everyone is going to. There are times where I looked around to see who is serious and excited about a project that I was working on. And I'm like, well, they don't seem that serious about it, so I probably shouldn't be either. And it was a terrible mistake, because Tony talks about his mentor taught him that changed his life. You have to be in the right place at the right time. You have to know you're in the right place at the right time. Like, how many of us have been at the right place at the right time and didn't realize it until it was too late? So you have to be in the right place at the right time. You have to recognize that you're at the right place at the right time. And then you have to take all out massive action. You have to execute. You have to do it messy, right? Done is better than perfect. So once everyone sees it, once the opportunity is well known and it goes from ridiculed, violently opposed, it's self-evident, the opportunity that we have right now is not going to be there. Now, will this be a long-term, opportunity? Yes, that's the goal. Long-term projects, millions of customers on Revo Rides and R-Link and all the other projects. However, if you listen to the people that have made tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and billions in the crypto space, the blockchain space, they're all saying the same thing. This will probably be the last bull run where projects have the potential to 500 to 1,000x in the future, because now you have BlackRock, Fidelity, all of these big names that are coming on board, but they're going, listen, it'll probably be maybe a 30x or 50x in the future, but it won't have the potential to be where we are. So talking to Tony and talking to some other people that are multi-millionaires and billionaires, I'm like, in the past, I kind of knew how to set it up, because I would sit there and go, hey, Maureen, listen, if you work really hard now in this company, then in the next, it'll take you 90 days to really understand what you're in. It'll take you a year to get good at the basics. It'll take you, or to learn the basics. It'll take you another year to get good at the basics. And it'll take you 5 to 10 years to earn a six-figure, possibly, or more income, to earn a legacy income, to be able to go full-time. Yet, Maureen, if you work 1 hour now, 5 years from now, if the timing is key. Now, I don't care what anyone says. They're like, oh, it's not about the timing. Sometimes there's a bigger T in the T in timing than the T in talent. Sometimes that T in timing is more important than the T in talent. How many people do you know, or have you seen on TV or heard their documentaries or watched their documentaries, and you're like, that person isn't even that smart, Like they just got in, they were in the right place at the right time and they took action. And so I would tell Maureen, hey, listen, if you work really hard, every hour that we work now could take someone 100 hours or 500 hours or 1,000 hours to get the same results just 5 years from now. Like, and eventually there'll come a point to where no one can ever catch you. My grandparents sold Aflac Insurance in Virginia. They made a great living. The guy that brought it to Virginia when there were massive issues and people like, why would I buy disability? Why would I buy cancer insurance? I may never have cancer. I may never be disabled. He saw the vision. He became wealthy. My grandparents made a living. And so sometimes that T in timing is extremely important. So talking to Tony and these other people, I'm like, I don't even know how to really, because no one has ever been in the place that we're in. No one, not even Wright that made 4 billion, not Tony that has 3 companies that have done over $1 billion in the last 3 years. Like no one has been in this perfect storm where you've got the ridicule violently opposed, blockchain growing faster than the internet in 1996, the fastest adopted technology in history, all the smart money, the BlackRock, the Vanguard, the Fidelity, all of these people coming on board. Then you got these projects, for example, Rlink, okay, or Rally. So Rally is the blockchain for the video conferencing. Rlink is the brand, and then RLNK will be the token. We hadn't launched yet. So here's the update on Rlink. I'm going to fly to Utah. We do an official ceremony where they take me to an off-site location. You can't take your phone. And we launch the blockchain. The goal is July 15th, give or take a day. Now, what we will do is when we launch the blockchain, the rewards will start to be distributed. However, they will not go into your individual wallets until the end of July. So in other words, if we test it for 2 weeks and those rewards are dropping on a daily basis, but not into your wallet, then at the end of the month, all of those rewards at once will drop into your wallet. Okay. So you're not missing anything. All of you that have a Rlink node, you will be in on distribution day 1. But there's only one launch and it will never happen again. So I'm looking, for example, and just let me remind you of the tokenomics. There's only 100,000 nodes in each project. Every time you sell, and then once they're gone, they're gone. Like, for example, if we sold all 100,000 nodes, which we will do, and all of a sudden Zoom wanted an Rlink node, they got to buy it from one of you, right? They can't go buy it anywhere else. Like the gaming nodes that some of our community were a part of that made tens of millions of dollars. If you can find a Gala node now, it's like $100,000. And it's halved over the years. So there's 50 billion. Now, when is different. Okay, but we're talking about every other project. I can go over that in a second. But every time there's 100 nodes sold, it goes up $100. That's why right now we hadn't even launched, but Rlink is at $3,700. It started at $2,500. My belief, in the next few months, it'll probably be $20,000 a node. And then everybody here will be like, man, I wish I would have bought on that Zoom that day when it was only $3,700. There's 50 billion rewards in each project and no more. Bitcoin halves every few years. I think it's every 4. These halve every year. So in other words, 25 billion rewards will be released the first 12 months. So if you want to get involved in a project where you get the node at the lowest price you will ever get, it's in the beginning. If you want to get the most rewards that you're ever going to get, then you want to be in year 1 if you can. Doesn't mean it's not going to be a massive opportunity years later, right? Because I have nodes that have been halved multiple times. But for example, Revo just launched at the end of May 29th, I believe it was. And I think my rewards are about 3,000 plus a day per node. That's pretty exciting, right? So, I mean, I've got 20 Arlink. I think I've got 20 Revo nodes. So I'm getting about 60,000 plus rewards a day. I've gotten 2 million my first 30 days. So we launch Arlink. And let me tell you, when I'm talking to different people that have been in the blockchain space, they're like, listen, our projects have done 500 billion transactions. When Gala Games was launched, the developers it was 10. Now it's 200. We've done 500 billion transactions on the blockchains projects. Gala, Farmville, all those, I mean, you're buying a cow. It's okay. I mean, that's fine, but you're playing games. Here you have projects that have real world revenue. Like people are taking rides daily with Revo rides. Like Arlink, we're going to launch probably in 50 countries to 100 countries day one, people using our software. I believe it will be the most viral project ever released in this community since over the last 7, 8 years or whatever. I think Connect has been around since 2014. I'm not the only one that believes that, but I believe it will be the most viral project ever launched because it's so easy. It's easy to share, easy to promote, easy to understand. Go and listen, video conferencing is not decreasing, it's increasing every single day. I saw a statistic recently said 75% of the workforce will be remote by 2025. It's going to a hybrid model. It's never going back to the way it was before COVID. So we are in a space that's expanding fast. There's no loyalty to meetings. People will jump on any link just like you did today because there's no loyalty. But if you have a link where you're earning rewards, then you can pay for your subscription. You can do all of these things. You're never going to use another link. You're going to be making sure that you're sending your link. And let me tell you, here's what we've done. The reason that we're a little bit later, because Revo Rides was several months, they were months and months ahead of us, right? They were a company building before they ever went on the blockchain. But what we've been doing is negotiating, seeing if we could get this technology where a company had spent several years and millions of dollars developing their platform. So we're like, man, if we could secure that, then that would put us light years ahead of where we would be starting from scratch with our, even though we have developers, we could do it a lot faster and we could, but if we could do that, we did it. So now we're going to launch a beta product coming up. We're going to give you some announcements in the next few days. Just one of the things that this platform has that I don't have the ability to do on Zoom. You can put a link up on your Zoom, which Arlink, and they can actually, you can create widgets and they can click on that link straight on the screen. There's all kinds of cool features. Every marketer, I was talking to Kim Garst, who's built 7 seven-figure online businesses. She was in Forbes' top 20 social media experts. And she goes, Darin, every marketer in the world is going to go crazy over this. And then not only that, I was talking to Tony and Wright. They're like, look, when the blockchain community hears about this and all the crypto owners worldwide, every one of them will jump on this platform and they'll never use another one. That's hundreds of millions of people. So the project, again, blockchain will launch around the 15th. Daily distribution will start at the end of July. When we launch the blockchain, the rewards will start being distributed, but not into your wallet daily. They will all drop in at the end of the month. In the next few days, we'll have the software ready to go. Then we'll do like a grand opening launch on that platform. And then we will give you the ability, a limited amount of people, to be the first beta testers of that project. So can you imagine, okay? And by the way, everyone, we're going to give you the social media, the website, everything for that at the same time, because all that's being worked on in the background, so it's hidden, right? And but can you imagine, and this is why we have people, you know, one person's made 4 billion in the blockchain projects. And he's like, listen, what we're doing has never been done before. Like, you have real world revenue. I believe that this will have like a valuation of $1 billion in the first 6 to 12 months or more. Because if our community, like just for example, Tony has built an organization over 1 million distributors before. I've built an organization for several 100,000 people. I know Patty and Herb Cepeda, they built an organization of several million people. That's just 3 people, not to mention all of you rock stars, and I'll stop naming names, but those are just 3, just me and 2 others that came to mind, right? Can you imagine we put millions of subscribers on that platform, and then people, when it starts trading and people are using their tokens to actually pay for the subscription, so you have real world utility, real world revenue. When we launch advertising on the platform and all of you get paid for that, like the members. So we know in the community, how do you generate income? Well, number one, you can go out and you can be a node owner and let the rewards come in daily. And if the projects do well, right? And the potential is they could go up like the other projects did. But you also can go share the nodes with other people. Like when I got in, it's been probably January, February is when I really just went all in. So February, March, April, May, June, about five months ago. All I said was, look, I'm going to go to all my friends and family, the people that I know, love, and care about, and I want to share with them about these projects. And my mindset was, so for example, if I'm going to Tommy, I'm like, look, I'm going to tell Tommy about it, but he's almost going to have to sell me on why I'm going to allow him to buy a node from me. Because I don't want Tommy coming back, being my buddy, going to blame me on something. So I want to make sure you know about it. But Tommy, you're going to make your own decision and you're going to decide how much you want to put in. And I want you to know there's a high risk with a potential of no reward, but there's also a high potential of, there's a potential of high rewards. Like, I don't know. But the good news, and this is where Tony said, you know what? The good news is that we can move the needle. We can go out. It's not like when I bought Dogecoin years ago, because Elon Musk tweeted about it. And all I could do is just sit back and hope that he tweeted again, right? Here, we can drive customers for Revo Rides, drivers for Revo Rides. We can get customers. Can you imagine, for example, Tommy, if you take or let's say, Kurt, you do a Zoom, okay, not a Zoom, an R-Link. We won't even use that word anymore very shortly. You do an R-Link and you're telling all your friends about this new platform and you got 50 people on and they all want to get a free trial to try it out. And you can put the link on the screen and they click it and sign up on the spot. And then those 50 could go out and put 20 to 50 people each on an R-Link and they can do the same thing. Can you see how quick this can grow, how viral this can grow? So one of the reasons I wanted to come on here today was give you the update. And please don't ask me a bunch of detailed questions because I don't want to give you information that could change. I want to give it to you all at one time, the grand opening. I just gave you the most important information that you could have. Like, software is almost ready. It's days away. The blockchain around July 15th will be launched. Daily distribution at the end of July, but any rewards that are distributed that first 2 weeks drop into your wallet at one time. The nodes are $3,700. It may be $3,800 or $3,900 by tomorrow. I don't know. But I do know we're going to go on a massive blitz to promote the R-Link nodes. And so that's number one. Okay, so number two. Here we are, July 1st. I didn't want to wait for the town hall meeting for you to get information. What if, and again, this is all me just giving you a hypothetical scenario. What if I told you, if you went out and sold 3 $500 win nodes, that you would get $1 million bonus? How many of you would sell 3 $500 win nodes? Okay, raise your hand, the ones I can see you. Anybody? For $1 million bonus. Okay, how long would it take you? Some of you putting up 2 hands, right? Okay, you got your feet in the air, your hands in the air. How long would it take you? right? So Tommy's like 1 hour maybe or less. Well, if I talk to my friends that got involved in Gala, and I'm having a conversation with one of them at breakfast, and I'm like, hey man, so you got in the beginning. One of them had 10 nodes, and one of them had 500 nodes. Now, this is not typical. It's not normal because most people are not going to do this. But the one that got 500 nodes really didn't go build a community, but he made $50 million. The one that had 10 nodes worked hard on building the community, like a lot of you. He made over $50 million. And I'm like, well, how's it going now? He's like, Darin, I still cash in about $40,000, $50,000 of my rewards a month. That's what I live on. 5, 6 years later. So I go, well, how much did one node in that project yield you? He's like, well, the average node from me, this is his personal experience, not a guarantee that's going to happen with these projects, over $1 million per node. I'm like, wow, over $1 million. So nodes are not an investment. You're purchasing software. If your node is not running and not operating, you're earning no rewards. If the projects don't go out and they're not successful, and we don't have utility and real world revenue and all, then they could be worth nothing. In the beginning, they are worth nothing. But like I said, would you rather buy Bitcoin now or go back to when it was a fraction of a penny? Right? I would much rather go back knowing what I know now, but hindsight is 2020. So the 3 you are free promotion, where if you go sell 3 different people a $500 win node, you get one for free, has been extended to June the 10th. Check your email, check your FAQs on your Connect site. What if one win node generated what that other project generated? What if? What if it generated a fraction of that? Is it worth going out July 10th? Sorry, July 10th, not June 10th. That would be backwards. Okay, we're already in July. Hard to believe. So July 10th. So now the question is, because all of you told me if I could see your hand or if I can't see your hand, you're probably going, yes, I will do it. Oh, it wouldn't even take me a day. It would take me an hour. I'll be right back. So my question to you is, you can. If you can, why don't you? Because it's your reasons. Reasons come first, rewards come later. Motivation is a motive for actions. So you have to decide, like, am I willing to go out and do whatever it takes? And it's just numbers. So there's a new video in your back office under share. It's the new 17-minute Connect presentation. Check it out. So what if you knew, hey, look, I want to go get these done by July 10th. Well, I get 10 people to watch the video by asking simple questions. Hey, Bill, hey, listen, remember the day we were talking, and you said, hey, look, I'd love to be able to build my dream home. I'd love to be able to travel more. I'd love to be able to give to a church or a charity. I'd love to be able to do more for my grandkids, whatever it was. Were you serious or joking? Oh, you were serious? I don't know if what I am doing is for you or not. May or may not be. I always give them the out. But if I sent you a short video, would you look at it? Okay, so maybe I call, I'm trying to see who's got their camera on. Kurt. And I go, hey, Kurt, hey, man, how's the family? Hope all's well. Quick question for you. Do you keep your income options open? Well, yeah. Well, look, I don't know if what I'm doing is for you or not, but if I sent you some information, would you look at it? I could call Becky and go, hey, Becky, who do you know? The indirect approach. Hey, Becky, I know you and Kevin, you own a Century 21, several franchises, because they do. They're friends of mine here locally. And I go, look, a lot of people respect you. Who do you know that's looking to generate some additional income? Okay, kind of the pitch that I had with Becky. Hey, Becky, I don't know if what I'm doing is for you or not, but do you know of anyone? She's like, wait a minute, what about me? So it's very easy to approach someone. So if I get 10 people to watch a video and then I call them back and I follow up, hey, what caught your attention the most? What did you like best about what you just saw? Being a node owner, referring nodes, selling nodes, and generating extra commissions. My first 30 days or so, 30 to 45 days, my USDT that was deposited into my bank account was $80,000 to $100,000. And I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was focused on rewards, right? But then I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had the biggest first month launch of anything I've ever done in my life, and it wasn't even intentional. And I didn't even know what a node was 4 months before that. But when I believe in something, and I want the people I know, love, and care about to know about this, I mean, I missed Uber, I missed Airbnb, I missed Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. I'm like, what if this is something like that? Then when I started researching, seeing all the things, that perfect storm, none of us have ever been in this position before. We don't even know the potential. Then we've got projects that have done what no project has done before. I'm like, I don't care if my friends do it or not, but I dang sure don't want them coming back to me at Christmas going, Darin, if you knew, why didn't you tell me? I thought we were friends. Because I had a friend of mine tell me that when I joined a company and I made multiple 7 figures. And she goes, Darin, why didn't I want to smack you? And I'm like, why? She's like, why didn't you tell me when you first joined that company? I'm like, Vicky, I didn't think you'd be interested. She goes, you shouldn't have thought, because I was praying for something, looking for something. And if you would have told me and I said no, then it's on me. You didn't give me the opportunity to even say no. So share with everyone. People that you think will definitely do it will not. People that you don't think will do it will. And a lot of times it's not even who you know, it's who they lead you to before they go. So if I go out and I introduce it to Rita and Rita's excited, I want to get to who she knows in case she decides to go, right? I want to strike where the iron is hot. So the 3, you're free. So if I know I go talk to 10 people, they watch a video, I follow up and I get 1. Then that means over the next 10 days, I need to get 30 people to review a video. And what's going to happen is I'm going to get better. So my ratio will get better than 1 out of 10. And you go, well, that's 30 people in 10 days. That's 3 people a day. Can you get 3 people a day to watch a video? And say, hey, I'm running for a promotion, right? Say, hey, Maureen, I'm running for a promotion. What I'm doing may or may not be for you, but I want my friends and family to know what I'm doing. It would really mean the world to me if you would support me and check out this video and just give me your feedback. I would do it for you, and I'm hoping you'll do it for me. Is that hard? That's not hard. So my question to all of you, when I told a mentor of mine that made millions and millions of dollars, and I was completely broke and government assistance, car repossessed, and I said, well, what difference does it make? Because I don't have a big team yet. He said, Darin, the attitude comes before the money. The money does not come before the attitude. If you ever want to have a big team, you ever want to create that type of income, then you better become more. And you better start acting as if. The mindset if you can't see it in your head, you can't hold it in your hand. Bob Proctor. I'm like, wow. So make a decision. And you go, well, why would I want more win nodes? Well, not only the rewards, but every win node, if you look at their action points, we'll have this with our link as well. And we'll tell you what they are. And then we're going to let you vote on it as a community. Our link is not my project. I helped found it. But guess what? You have a node. I have a node. It's your project. It's my project. It's our project. But if you look at the action points with win, there's some of them that are like 1/365th of a point, 1/7 of a point. One win node is 1 point. 2 win nodes, 2 points. When you get to 5 win nodes, you get a bonus point. So that's 6 points for 5 active win nodes. You're like, Darin, how did you come in when the community has been around for years and you went to number 27 in the top 50 like this? Because I looked at the action points and I'm like, I may not have finished college, but if you're telling me I get a whole point for every win node and a bonus point for operating 5, why wouldn't I recommend, and there's 5 coupons when anybody gets started. So a $2,000 node is $500. Why would I not do that? And why would I not recommend, if people want to get the most out of the action points, to do the same? Okay, so that's number 1. The other one is BlockBot. in a previous company, and again, it's not about me, but for those of you that know my story, 25 years ago, I was bankrupt, car repossessed, on Medicaid, government assistance, couldn't feed my family, depressed, and going through my little girl's piggy bank to get change to eat. And when she walked in and saw me taking the money out of the bank account, runs out crying, and I'm on my hands and knees with tears coming to my face going, how could I get this low where I'm taking money out of my child's piggy bank? And I go, that's it. I'm sick of this. I don't give a rip what anybody else does. I can't control what they do, but my family deserves better. And I will fight to do whatever it takes to make sure they have a better life. I will. And I walked in and put it on an index card on the wall. I will until. That was my mindset. Can't change your life overnight, but you can change the direction of your life overnight. That's my book behind me on the mantelpiece. I will until. Unlock your limitless power to succeed. That was the mindset that changed everything. And so when I went from there and I didn't have a college education, living in a small town, it was the mindset. Your attitude determines your altitude. So when I went into these companies, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't understand all the comp plan. But I go, if I make a sale, I get paid. If I help someone else make a sale, I get paid. And then I learned the basic fundamentals of the compensation plan. So in the chat, okay, I just there's a couple of videos, if you don't have it, how to level up, how to earn rewards that Tony did. But Blockbot, if you go to Blockbot by the 10th of July, you get another free win node. Another free win node. So people are like, how do I get to the very top of the comp plan? Don't worry about that. Just worry about if you become a Blockbot, you can go all the way to the top of the comp plan. You can go to the very top. You become a Blockbot factory. So here we are, July 1st. And people are like, Darin, I just need to stay motivated. Can you motivate me? Well, first of all, the only type of motivation that lasts is internal, right? Internal motivation. I've had talks with friends of mine, and I've had friends talk to me going, listen, if you can't go look at your family and be man enough to go, I'm going to go fight and take care of them, there's nothing else I can say that's going to give you the motivation. So at first, motivation is discipline. That's it. I did not feel like getting up early this morning. I didn't feel like walking 2 miles this morning. I didn't feel like taking a break in the middle of the day, going and working out at a gym with no air condition, out in the sun, doing a workout. I didn't feel like talking to people. I don't feel like getting rejected. But what does feeling like it have to do with anything? I can play now and work a job like I did for years, where my boss and manager, the only time I got recognized was when I did something wrong. And they tried to hold me down because I threatened their position so I could play them going, oh, this feels comfortable. Comfort zones are never comfortable. They're designed to give us the sameness and security, keep us right where we are. And I go, or I can pay now, because there's a season of sacrifice for every entrepreneur, and go do what most people aren't willing to do to be able to live a life that most people will never live. So you have to make that decision. Am I willing to go through the discipline if the person that introduced me to this quit today? If they're not motivated, they're on vacation, they're going, I'll start when the kids get back in school. No, you are the CEO of You Inc., Y-O-U. If it's to be, it's up to me. Yes, this is a team. We're a community, right? You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. But when I had the pity party going, well, they must not understand. They live in big cities. I'm in a very small town in Virginia. They must have a college education. I have a lack of education. They're great public speakers. I'll pass out in front of 5 people that I know. That was a true story. Like I had a speech class. The only year and a half I went to college, 15 people, I would shake, stutter, sweat, want to wreck my car on the way to class to have a good excuse why I didn't have to do that speech. I was terrified, right? And so I was making all these excuses. Well, they don't understand how many people they'll have to go through to find someone like me. Guess what I found out? No one was coming to save me or my family. No one. I was going to have to go out and fight for my family. And I was having this talk with my 16-year-old daughter the other day. She's talking about how she started soccer and she's not gifted like some of the other athletes. And I said, Kinley, the best blessing that has ever happened to me, one of the best blessings, nothing comes easy for me. I'm not naturally good at anything, not even growing hair, right? And I'm like, but what happens is it's made me work so hard, and I have to create the discipline, and I have to do it every day, no matter how I feel. And because some people that are gifted, they take it for granted. And when you fight for it, you appreciate it more. So are you, number one, are you committed to do that? And if you've already gotten 3, do it again. When you go through a blitz like this, we've had blitzes like this that have made me over $1 million. And I didn't have nodes. Let me tell you why. Well, Darin, how could you selling 3 win nodes make you over $1 million? Well, forget the free node, that if that generated over the next several years rewards that ended up having that kind of value, forget that. Because what I did when I go, you know what? I can't help what anybody else does. I can help what I do. And a leader leads. A leader gets someone to do something they normally wouldn't have done if we hadn't been there to get them to do it. I don't want my organization to listen to me. I want them to watch me. I would rather watch a leader than listen to one any day of the week. So I go out and I do the activity. And because I not only I made the commitment, but then I take inventory. I go, Arian, hey, listen, did you hear about the promotion? This is how you take inventory. You ring the bell. Did you hear about the 3-year free promotion? Most people do not even know it's been extended. Most people, if they saw the email, they don't understand what it means to them. We're all tuned into our favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? Well, hey, here's what it means to you. And you can give them some examples. Hey, what if this node goes out and generates this many rewards a day? And what if these projects do extremely well? And what if this happens? Like, here's what this means to you. And then I go, is this something that you want to do? Yes or no? If they go, nope, I'm out of the country, I'm on an island with no internet, no phone for a month, that's fine. But then I go to the next person. So as I'm doing massive communication, as soon as you jump off of this video, you ring the bell in your organization and you're taking inventory. Did you hear about the BlockBot 3-year free? Do you understand what that means to you? Is that something that you want to do? Then you map it out. Map it out. Here's how fancy I get. It's a yellow notepad. I go, Becky said, yes, I'm in it. I want that 3-year free. I want BlockBot. I go to Maureen. She's like, yes, I'm in. I go to the next person. So when I finish, this is the potential growth of my organization from now until July 10th. So I know who to walk with, who to run with, who to sprint with. I'm going to match them energy for energy. There's people that we love, we care about, but they won't participate in their own rescue. Amen or amen. You throw them the life jacket, they don't even grab it. The best thing you can do for your friends and family is love them and care about them, but show them with your actions you're going with or without them. You don't tell them that, that's rude, but let them know. I mean, hey, look, I really don't care. I want them to, but I can't control that. So make a decision to get the 3-year free on your own. Make a decision, BlockBot, because even if you went to the last minute and you gave it everything that you had and you only got 2 people to buy a win node, right? Did you still succeed? Yes, because you did the activity. Okay, you barely missed BlockBot. Yes, because you did the activity. By the way, let me finish my story. I totally sidetracked. So how did blitzes make me $1 million when sometimes it was like a cheap $50 watch giveaway or some other promotion that wasn't that big a deal? Because I did the activity over a period of time, a week or 2 weeks, it would lead me to people that came in that wouldn't have been there if we hadn't done that promotion, if we hadn't worked so hard. And then all of a sudden, either that person or someone they led me to ended up building an organization that did hundreds of thousands or millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions in sales. And I look back and go, oh my gosh, that blitz, this person came from that group that we brought in during that week or that 2 weeks. If we hadn't given it all we had, it looks like we just got a $200 cheap watch that cost the company $50. It looked like that's my only reward, but it wasn't. I've got an organization that's generating me a lot of money every single month for the last decade because of that one blitz or 5 years, whatever it was. So don't take these lightly when the company is sitting here going, hey, listen, we're going to give you an open checkbook. If people even know what that is anymore, right? They're like, what do you mean? Well, we're going to let you earn as many of these as you want. We're going to let you drive your organization, and we're going to pay for the free win nodes. All you got to do is go do it. So make a decision, commit to do it on your own. Go through the numbers. Big numbers equal big results. Don't wait till you feel like you're ready. You're never going to do it. When you jump off of here, the best thing you can do is make 5 phone calls immediately. Immediately. When I joined a company, and I had a buddy of mine, he joined the same time. 2 mistakes that I made, I want you to learn from. Number one, I would procrastinate. So this guy was doing so much better than everyone else. I figured he had secrets and he was so much better than everyone else. No. When you hang around top money earners that are making 10, 100 times more than everybody else, they only do a few little things 1% better. They're not that much better. I'm telling you. I've been there, I've watched it, and I've gone, wow, I was thinking I would never have a chance. So my buddy, what he did, I went to his house. I'm like, I'm going to find out the secrets. And I got up that morning. I'm like, look, let's go to Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, get some breakfast and get some coffee, then go to work. He said, there's coffee and food in the kitchen. Go make 5 phone calls. I'm like, who am I going to call? He's like, I don't care who you call. Just go make 5 phone calls. So I came back a few minutes later, go, hey, man, you've got a big organization. I've got a teeny organization. I feel overwhelmed. He's like, go make 5 phone calls. Okay. And I'm like, well, who? He's like, I don't care if you make up numbers. Just go make 5 phone calls. True story. I walked back in his office again, said, where's your paper shredder? I need to shred this. He's like, get out of my office and don't come back in. That's a non-profit producing activity. Every minute is gold. He knew that if I made the first call, my phone felt like it weighed 100 pounds. But then the second call was a little bit lighter. But that motion created emotion. So once I made 5 phone calls, I was pacing. It was like I had 3 cups of coffee. It set the pace for my entire day. And so it's not how much you do, it's the effectiveness of what you do. Before this, I was coaching, right? So I was able to have, I failed in direct sales for 7 years. So that I'll never do it again. I had the right mentors that came into my life that taught me the formula. Here's what you do to go to the top in every company. And then I did, right? That's when I had massive success over the next, I'd say 20 years. And that's not to brag you, impress you. It's to impress upon you. I was failing for 7 years. I wasn't a fast starter. And people want to know the secret. And the secret is, there's no secret. It's doing the simple things every day. So I was coaching, and there was a mom with before I came to the Connect community that had 2 little kids that were like a year to 3 years old. She was a teacher, never done any type of sales before. So she's a wife, a mom of 2 little teeny kids, and a teacher. She says, I've never been in sales. I don't have a lot of contacts. What do I do? I said, you want to take everyone on your list from not knowing to knowing. It doesn't matter if they see it or not. When I had yogurt franchises, I didn't care if you like yogurt or not. I just wanted you to know I had them, because you're going to know someone that likes yogurt. So she went out. The first 2 weeks, she reached out to 150 people a week. Then she went to 10 or 15 a day. And in 4 months, she was hit the top rank in the company, and she was the highlight of the whole company. So I interviewed her on a Zoom in front of the whole company. And I'm like, people want to know what's the magic. She's like, Darin, I came in, I was coachable. I didn't know any different. You told me to make a massive list, take everybody from not knowing to knowing. I would get to work early, sit in the parking lot in the dark, and reach out to people on social media. I was prepared. So during my breaks during the day, I would reach out to people. And at night, once I got the kids in bed, I would reach out to people. And I'm like, well, you must be working like 12 hours a day. How long did it take you to reach out to 10, 15 people a day, 150 people your first week, your second week, and then 10 or 15? She goes, Darin, I worked about 2 hours a day, 6 days a week, in addition to my job and being a mom. So 12 hours a week, and in 4 months hit the top position in her company. It's not how much you do, it's the effectiveness of what you do. So 12 hours a week, she made every single minute count. She didn't waste any time. So make a commitment, get the 3-year free. I told Trace and Wright and Tony that I was jumping on here. I just jumped off a Zoom with them. I'm like, I want you to track sales. I go, because I'll guarantee the people that are committed enough to get on this Zoom, you watch what they do. I go, you're going to see some things happen. Okay. And I would love for you to go out for you and your family and get that 3-year free. I would love for you. I want us to have more block bots in the month of July than any other month in the history of this community. Let me also tell you this. Summertime is the time that most people use it as an excuse, and I did for years. Kids are out of school, vacation, travel. It's the economy. It's an election here in the US. Any excuse will do, right? You can make money or make excuses, but you can't make both. Had a buddy of mine that told me he couldn't do something one time. I'm like, I almost didn't go to the gym this week because I was completely out of peanut butter. He said, Darin, what does peanut butter have to do with going to the gym? I go, nothing, but one excuse is as good as another one. I choose peanut butter. And it was so stupid that he never forgot it. He ended up going to the event. He had a yard sale, sold his kids' bedroom furniture, and he became a millionaire club member in that company. And he still tells the peanut butter story 20 years later. So no excuses, right? So make a commitment, 3-year free, Blockbot Factory. The summer, this is the time. It can take you twice as much work to see half of the results. But it's not that the results don't come. It's a season. So for years, I took off during the summer. I didn't say I was taking off, but my actions showed that I was taking off. But then when I learned this is the time that you gain market share, and knowing that our projects most likely are going to start hitting exchanges in the next 90 to 120 days, knowing the Bitcoin halving, knowing the ETFs, knowing the election and everybody starting to push crypto and blockchain, and knowing that we're going into Web3 and all these things are happening, this is not the time to slack off. This is my conversation with Tony going, I don't even know how to get the urgency across. None of us have ever experienced this. We can look back 90 days from now and go, if I would have only known what I know 90 days from now, not 5 years from now, I wouldn't have slept, because I've never been a part of technology growing so fast. This is not a product, a nutrition product, a skincare product. This is the fastest adopted technology in history, with a blockchain group that has done 500 billion transactions. So all of you, when fall comes, so August, vacations start to end. We go into one of the best seasons in affiliate marketing, direct sales, network marketing. Those of you that work through the summer months, they will never catch you. It's like being on a racetrack. The light is yellow. You're still going 70, 80 miles per hour. Everybody else is at a standstill making excuses. All of a sudden, when the floodgates open and you put the pedal to the metal, you put the accelerator all the way to the floor, they will never catch you. And they'll say things like, oh, you must have gotten lucky. No, I was willing to do what you weren't willing to do to now have what you don't have. So let's work through the summer months. Let's focus on the discipline, knowing that motivation is all discipline at first. It doesn't matter how many people tell you no. Trust me, because when all of a sudden that bull market things start to explode, when you have Bitcoin hit an all-time high and all of that, people FOMO. They FOMO, the fear of loss in. And so you're going to have people calling you back. Do you want 100 people that told you no calling you back, or 500 people that told you no calling you back? You won't even be able to get to everyone if you work the numbers over the next 30, 60, 90 days. All right, so final wrap up. Are you committed? Make a decision to do it yourself. Number 2, take inventory from your organization, ring the bell. Okay, do you know about the promotions? Do you understand them? Is that something you want to do? 3, you map it out so you know the potential growth of your organization. Number 4, you impose your will. Hey, Maureen, you said you wanted to do it? Hey, listen, in an hour, can you get 10 people on a Zoom and we'll do an overview for you? Can you get 10 people to watch this video and I'll answer their questions? We'll do a chat. So a leader gets someone to do something they normally wouldn't have done if we hadn't been there to get them to do it. And then the final reminder, if you want to be a part of our link, before we even start distribution, get your nodes immediately. Get your team to get their nodes immediately so you're part from the very start. So if you got one thing out of the Zoom, I know it's been a while since I've did a Zoom and kind of shared with you like what's going on. You could tell I'm pretty excited. My bald head is red like a tomato, right? Because I am excited. There's a lot of conversations going on in the background that we can't share, but you can just tell from my energy, hopefully, that I'm all in, like nothing I've ever done before. I've put everything in my life on pause, and I believe we can do some massive things together as a community over the next 3 to 6 months, just getting started, and then over the next several years. Not only we're gonna make an impact all over the world. So I appreciate you jumping on, last minute. Let's go out there. Let's show them how much we appreciate these promotions, because they don't have to do these promotions. Like, we encourage them to do these promotions, saying, listen, we promise you, we will do something with it. Like, and once they go away, everybody wants them to bring them back. If we don't show them that these promotions make a difference, we won't have these in the future, right? Well, and we don't have to. Really, the promotions get us to do something we should have been doing anyway. This is just a way to push us a little bit, encourage us a little bit more. So anyway, hope you have a great rest of your day. If you're not a part of our chat, I did put the WhatsApp link in the chat as well. You can join our WhatsApp group. And then as soon as this recording comes through, I will drop it in the WhatsApp chat. So the best thing, my recommendation, is you don't want to have to explain everything that I just did. You don't have to. Get them this recording and say, listen, it's extremely important. There's time-sensitive information. If I send you the Zoom replay of today, will you look at it right away? Because I'm not going to tell you how long I'm going to keep it up. I'll tell you I will keep this Zoom link up for the next 24 hours. Okay? That way you're telling the truth. Hey, I don't know how long he's going to keep it up, but he committed to at least 24 hours of having the replay available. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you on the next training. Take care.